When the fall of Saigon happened, many people have the opportunity to escape on their own boats. We called ourselves the boat people.
My father brought 44 people on his boat to escape the communist country. That's my hero.
I'm always very grateful for the city of New Orleans that embraced my family and thousands of Vietnamese families.
After the oil spill, we had a lot of people that were affected, so we decided to come up with a program to help people earn income by growing food.
She does everything for her family, and we're grateful for that.
Thành thử ra là bây giờ mẹ con tôi sống ở đây thì mẹ con sống với nhau thôi. Tôi dùng tất cả những cái khả năng của tôi có. Tên là Tỷ Lệ Sằng Nguyễn. Tôi ở Việt Nam, sau Việt Nam. Tôi sang bên Mỹ năm 1970, sang bên Indonesia là 1979 và sang bên được tàu mang sang bên Mỹ là năm 1980. Không có tiền trợ cấp của chính phủ cho nên tôi một mình tôi về bên Louisiana này trước để tôi kiếm đường. Tôi làm ăn, tôi đi làm mướn. Sau đó là tôi mang 6 đứa con tôi về bên này ăn học đàng hoàng. Rồi bắt đầu tôi đi xin việc làm. Tôi đi làm 2 job. Buổi sáng tôi đi bóc ghẹ. Mà tôi mới đi làm thì tôi chưa biết làm bao giờ. Ngày đầu tiên tôi được có 5 đồng. 2 giờ sáng tôi đi, 10 giờ sáng là về thì được 5 đồng, rồi sau được 7 đồng, rồi được 10 đồng, rồi được 15 đồng. Sau đó 12 giờ trưa tôi đi đập sò ở trên phố thì được 5 bao, mỗi bao được 3 đồng. Rồi về sau được 7 bao, 10 bao, rồi 15 bao, cho tới 20 bao. Đó, rồi cứ tiếp tục như vậy đi làm. Rồi ai có chỗ nào có việc làm thì tôi xin đi làm. Thành thử ra là bây giờ mẹ con tôi sống ở đây thì mẹ con sống với nhau thôi. Còn con cái tôi bây giờ đứa nào nó cũng có công ăn việc làm hết. Chỉ trừ có 2 đứa con thứ 6 và thứ 7 thì nó thường xuyên. Nếu tôi cần cái thằng thứ 7 thì nó tới nó help anytime.
We're actually from Bloomington, Indiana, and we just came down to New Orleans for vacation for a few days. And we actually stopped at the bait store down the road, and they said this was the place to get shrimp. So we came back this morning to get some shrimp, and we got a big cooler full of shrimp to take home.
Mà nếu mà trường hợp mình không trả như vậy thì mình không có khách hàng. Cho nên nhiều người ta không có cái account trong nhà băng thì mình phải làm như vậy. Đó, nhưng mà mình làm thì có giấy tờ đàng hoàng. Tại vì mình bán tôm á thì nó quay thẳng vào trong nhà băng, mà mình lấy thì nó có giấy tờ đàng hoàng. Mà giấy tờ của quay nai mình làm cho đàng hoàng. Nhưng mà nếu mà mình muốn lấy khách vì mình là người Việt Nam ở đây mà mình không làm như vậy thì mình không có khách. Vậy thôi. I have a cat. Only time I sell, I buy in here. I pay for the fisherman. But I have a problem the couple time because somebody robbed me in right here, but 3-4 times already. Tại vì khi mà mình đã sang được cái đất Mỹ này, mình cảm ơn Chúa. Mình đã sang được cái đất tự do. Đêm mình ngủ mình không sợ người ta gõ cửa mình, hay là không sợ rằng người ta gán ghép tội này tội kia cho mình mà bắt đi để cho một đàn con bơ vơ. Nhưng sang bên đất Mỹ này phải trả một cái giá là ở bên đất Mỹ này tự do, nhưng mà mình phải đi làm. Tôi mở cái hãng này ra thì cái người factory này người ta giúp đỡ tôi nhiều lắm. Tôi làm ăn tôi không có một đồng bạc nào. Người ta cho tôi mượn tiền để tôi mua tôm, cho tôi mượn tiền để mà tôi trả tiền tôm, tiền chi phí ở đây. Nhưng mà sau cái ngày hôm đó, hoặc là ngày hôm sau, là xe 18 bánh là cái cô đó là tài xế cho một cái chủ mà có chiếc xe này để tới đây pick up cho cái hãng đó. Thì cái hãng mà tôi bán đó, người ta trả là khi mà cô tới đây cô làm tới đây thì tôi nghĩ rằng người ta cũng là một người đi làm giống như mình mà thôi. Thì tôi treat cô ấy very well, tôi cho cô ấy tiền, tôi đi mua đồ ăn, rồi tôi làm đủ thứ giống như là tôi coi cô ấy là một người ở trong gia đình của tôi vậy, ở đây vậy. Mà ai cũng vậy, fisherman người ta tới đây cũng vậy.
Yeah, I've been picking up with her for 21 years. Her shrimp go all over the place. It goes to the factory and then they ship it all over the place, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, wherever they got sales for it and stuff. She's a real good person. How many batch you got?
I don't know, right here and over there. 6, 7, 8, I don't know, baby. Thì khi tôi mà mở ra cái chỗ này, tôi rất là hài lòng với cái chỗ này của tôi, vì nằm ở chỗ này trong khả năng của tôi. Tôi có 2 cái máy nước đá là 20 tấn. Tôi có dầu để đổ cho tàu. Và tôi có máy bơm đá cho tàu. Tôi có đầy đủ tiện nghi muối và tất cả những cái gì mà những người fisherman cần là tôi đều cung cấp hết tất cả cho người ta khi cho người ta đi ra biển. Rồi sau đó thì người ta lại về đây người ta bán tôm cho tôi. Tôi rất hài lòng với cái business của tôi bây giờ ở đây. Là 5 giờ là tôi ở bên hãng, là tôi đi về nhà để sửa soạn, là tôi đến nhà thờ tôi đi lễ. Cái việc của tôi là hàng ngày, tôi 72 tuổi rồi, thì đối với tôi đơn giản. Từ khi mà tôi về bên New Orleans này thì tôi ở trong cộng đồng Marian nữ vương Việt Nam, và tôi dùng tất cả những cái khả năng của tôi có. Khi trong nhà thờ hoặc là trong hội đoàn, đá và tất cả những cái gì ở trong cộng đoàn, tôi sẵn sàng tôi làm hết ở trong cộng đoàn này.
This statue originally came from northern Vietnam in 1954 when the Catholic family escaped the communists. In 1975, when the communists took over the southern part of the country of Vietnam, they escaped Vietnam and moved to the United States. So they brought the same statue, and the name of this statue is Our Lady of the Vietnamese Refugee. My name is Giuseppe Anthony Tran. I was born in Vietnam in 1964 in the southern part of the country. When I came to the United States, I was adopted by this Italian family, and I changed my name into Giuseppe. But the Tran is still my last name originally. This is the shape of the country of Vietnam, dominated by the Chinese for thousands of years. And so our language is the same language of China. Later on, they changed the language of Vietnam into Han. And then from Han, changed into Nho. And then in the 1500s, the Portugal and the Spanish priests came to Vietnam and bring in religion, Catholic religion, as well as education, and changed our language from the picture into alphabetical order. So 1954, the communists took over from northern country until here. And from this part to the southern area, it's a Republican and helped by the United States as well. So we have the soldier came to support the southern Vietnam until the war happened in the 60s. The 10,000 days war in Vietnam is horrible. And so 50-something thousand American soldiers died during the time of fighting with the communists in the southern country of Vietnam. And so in 1975, the communists took over the entire country as well. When the fall of Saigon happened, many people, especially the people in this parish, live in the Vũng Tàu area. It's very much like Tampa Bay or Destin of Florida, because people who live on the beach front area, they have the opportunity to escape on their own boats. And majority of the Vietnamese people from this community moved to Guam Island. From that island, they moved to 4 different refugee camps in the United States. One in California, one in Pennsylvania, one in Arkansas, and one in Florida. From 1975 to 1980, the people who lived with the communist camps survived, especially Catholic believers. They took the money from the people. They robbed the people. And so they had to escape the country to move to the third world country, which is from 1976 to 1980. And so I belong to that group. We call ourselves refugee people, the boat people. The Vietnamese refugee people leaving Vietnam from 1975 until 1980s, they stay in the refugee camp up in Arkansas. Then the former Archbishop Philip Hannon of New Orleans visiting the refugee camp. And first of all, in July of 1975, he wanted to bring all the seminarian priests and nuns from the refugee camp in Arkansas to New Orleans. So Archdiocese of New Orleans are very supportive to the Vietnamese refugee people during that time. And then November of 1975, the people starting to move to New Orleans. The first 11 families from Arkansas refugee camp moved to New Orleans and live in the Versailles Arms apartment area under the supportive of the Catholic Charities and the Archdiocese of New Orleans to helping us forming a chapel, the Vietnamese chapel, so the priest can say Mass for the 11 families. And then the people starting to spread out the good news, saying that New Orleans and Vietnam is very much in the same image, in the same environment. Because of the temperature, because of the area, Vietnam have the Mekong River, and New Orleans have the Mississippi River run across the land. So it's very much the same environment and the same feeling. So the people feel very comfortable when they live in New Orleans. So from 11 families, it expanded into 300 families later on. So the first community established under the Archdiocese with the name of Các Thánh Tử Đạo Việt Nam, which is translated the Vietnamese Holy Martyrs Community. And so from 1975 until 1983, this community has been the very first Vietnamese Catholic Church named by the Archdiocese of New Orleans in the United States. big picture that you see on the wall here is the picture of all the saints, the Vietnamese martyrs, became saints in 1988. In the 1500s, Spain and Portugal, priests from Jesuit and Dominican came to Vietnam. They brought over education as well as they brought over Catholic belief. And so they're teaching all of us to learn to become a Catholic believers. And so during the time of 1700 and 1800, 300 and something thousand of people being killed, being martyrs by the King of Vietnam, by the government during that time. And so 300 and something thousand people died, but we don't have all the records. But the church during that time have the record of 117 Vietnamese Catholic faithful who died during that time. And so these are the bones of the saints, the name on each piece of record here, and also on the cross. During the time of the fall of Saigon, I stayed in the school of the seminary up in Thủ Đức of Vietnam. And the communists want to take over the facility of the Catholic seminary. So they label us as their enemies. So they put all of us in the prison for 1 year. So 1978, they released all of us as students. During that time, my family want me to escape the country because eventually they're gonna arrest me or put me into their soldier requirement. And so my mom wanted me to leave the country right away. So April 30th, 1978, I left the country of Vietnam. The Vietnamese community in New Orleans is very much united together. And that is a good future for them to continue keeping the Vietnam tradition. The older people are very much like my parents, are not well educated, so they put all their dream and their vision into the children. And so their children grow up and have well educated. They graduated from high school, graduated from college, and have a better job. And now this community of Mary Queen of Vietnam Church have a lot of doctors and dentists and pharmacists. And also we have a lot of lawyers and, other fields. And so I love this country. And my family, when I brought them over, they love it too. They see that this is a supportive community, a supportive country. I owe this country because this country gave me freedom.
I was the first one that married outside of my race, and they were not happy with that at all.
My little sister Lorna got sick on our way to America. We thought we would have to toss her over the boat.
Just another day.
It's Father's Day, so it's a family gathering.
Just another day.
No. A lot of people that don't have a family.
What you doing? Yeah, y'all should be coming in there helping.
Nobody told me what to do, so what do you need to do?
All right, here. So there's one. Dip it in the water right there, that big pot.
All of this?
No, just this. And then make sure y'all, like for 3 or 4 minutes, and then take them out. And just try to put oil in there so it doesn't stick. Because after it's done, then everybody gets their own bowl and put their own soup in it, so you don't want it to stick. The Vietnamese way of raising kids is you gotta be tough. We're not emotional type of people. We don't do emotions very well, very frank, but we all take care of each other, but there's no sugarcoating stuff. There's like in this day and age where they're talking about suck it up buttercup, that's how it used to be. And it still is. We raise our kids to be very self-sufficient, very independent, do everything for themselves. They don't need you don't need your parents to do anything for you. They raise you enough. Their only job is to put you through school and feed you. That's it. The rest of them is on you. So, you know, it has a lot to do with religion. It has a lot to do with raising in a two-parent family. There's no divorces. You don't get emotions involved. You don't talk back to your parents, but I do. But that's just, you can ask them. We're not a very lovey-dovey type of people. I'm always going to be Asian or Vietnamese. We were born to be, and I'm proud to be, you know, Vietnamese and who I am. I'm not going to deny that. But when it comes to being at work and not the cultural differences, is vast. And so I blend in, and, you know, I treat people like just regular Americans. If you believe in your culture and you believe in your roots and you're proud of it, it doesn't matter what anybody says. Somebody's always going to make fun of you. Somebody's always going to say something. I mean, she's a strong woman, and she raised us to be very strong and to be very independent. And all of us are very successful at what we do, and all of us raise very successful families. So that's a tribute to what she's been doing. She's annoying sometimes, but she, you know, she does everything for her family, and we're grateful for that. I mean, I think the third generations and the second, third, fourth generations that are being raised up right now, they're much more Americanized than what I care to. I hate to say, but they're losing their roots. They're losing the way that they were taught, because they go to school and it's all Americanized, and it's a shame, because it's a beautiful culture, it's a beautiful way of living. A lot of kids nowadays, because they don't want to speak the language because everybody's laughing at them, and that's hard. And that happened to my son. He was fluent in Vietnamese until we moved to Mandeville. And he came home one day, because I talked to him in Vietnamese, and one day he came home and he said, "Mom, I don't want to speak the language anymore." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, all of my friends are laughing at me." So I told him, I said, "It doesn't matter who laughs at you. I mean, you have to be grateful that you're smart enough to speak multiple languages." Because my husband speaks multiple languages, and I speak multiple languages.
Take a peek at my daddy. He's the hero.
Yep.
He's the one who brought us all over here. He took care of all of us, you know. He had a shrimp boat, built his own boat, you know, and I was his deckhand, and that was the best time of my life. I followed in his footsteps. I got a boat too, and after Katrina, you know, I lost my boat and he lost his boat, and I went back to the oil field. But yeah, that's my hero. My father had a fishing boat back in Vietnam, and to escape that country, we bought 44 people on his boat to escape the communist country, and we made it to an island called Fort Chaffee, where most of the women got raped, and we got robbed, lost the boat, lost everything, but he still continue on, you know. He's the man. My mother started her business in the back of a rented house in the backyard. She was popping head in the back of a rented house. That's how she started her business. And when she made enough money, she bought a shrimp dock. And after that, it was all hard work, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's her. She's still going. Popping shrimp heads to get the heads off and to make tails out of the shrimp. You can make more profit that way. And I was 13 years old. I remember till to this day. 13 years old, picking up 150 pounds and throw it on the table for them ladies. Oh, work. He was the best in the business back in his days. You know, when he first built his boat, he was the biggest wood over fiber boat that they had in Empire. And he was bringing home a lot of shrimp. He was bringing home a lot of money to provide for the family.
Move! She can't taste her food, so I have to taste for her.
I cook. Only time I cook, I don't eat it.
Not what?
I fight with her all the time.
All the time, all the time. We don't get along.
They talking to me over here.
Because that I taste good, he tell no good, he tell sweet, I tell not sweet, and fight all the time.
No, because I'm always right.
She said I'm always right.
I hết rồi.
Tao thấy là vừa đó.
No,
Mày làm sao? Khoan mặn nạ.
it's not, Mama.
Nó còn cho tương ớt vào mà, cho tương ớt phở vào mà.
Nếu mà như vậy thì mẹ còn hỏi con làm gì nữa?
Nhưng mà tại vì tao ăn tao thấy như vậy, nhưng mà mày thì kêu ấy.
You never know if they're arguing or not. I think it just depends on the tone of their voices, how loud they go. But with their daddy, he's hard of hearing, so they all pretty much have to get loud with him.
We're not fighting, we're just talk loud. That's how we talk. We're loud people. Wherever you live, you learn what's best from every single culture. Vietnamese has beautiful cultures, Americans have beautiful cultures, and that's how you merge two cultures into one. As you can see, I mean, we have different types of people that we invite into the family. We adopt some of them. It's not all of them are ours, but we accepted them as our own. So it's been a great cultural, and my parents are not like your typical Vietnamese parents. They are very accepting of everybody. I was the first one that married outside of my race, and they were not happy with that at all. But just like everything else, you learn to appreciate where you are and where you're going, and for them, I think they teach us a lot of stuff, but we're also teaching them how to be more open, how to be more accepting of people. I was never one of those people that could see myself being married to a Vietnamese person because of my I'm not the typical Vietnamese where I'm very outspoken, and that's my problem. Is my dad always said if I were to marry a Vietnamese person, I probably would have been dead by now because he would have killed me. It's very subservient. The way that we talk, the way we were raised was very subservient. Like, we don't talk back to our husbands, and that's one of the things that my brothers and my sisters, they're very traditional in that way. I'm just not.
Kẻ có nợ chúng con xin Chúa để chúng con xây chiếc cam dỗ. Happy Father's Day today.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, this is so good. I haven't had this in a long time.
Bring them home.
My name is Cindy Nguyen, and I'm actually originally from Phuoc Tinh, Vietnam. For me, it's not about political agenda or anything, but it's about bringing families together. When the opportunity came up in 2017, at that time, my predecessor, in my humble opinion, said he wasn't really serving the community. He was really using the position as a political game. I have worked in different communities, not just in the Vietnamese community, but in the Black community, in the Hispanic community, in the white community. And I believe that I can serve the people. When I got the call that I won the election, I tell you, my father came to my victory party. And my father and I, we were in tears. I still get tears when I remember his face when we were surrounded with people just cheering us on, and the news were out there, the music is playing. That moment, all I saw was my father. You know, all I saw was just how proud, and it makes me like extremely happy. Like, finally, I'm able to give him something that I've worked really hard, that I didn't have to buy. So I've been in America for now over 46 years. I don't think my father even knew where we were going, you know, but I believe, and he continued to share the stories with us up until now, that he wanted to make sure that we have freedom. He wanted to make sure that we had access to opportunities. And that day happened on April the 30th, when I found myself on his back. My mother pregnant with my little brother, hanging on to my little sister, Lorna, who was quite young at that time. And we didn't have much. We came to America via boat, and it was on April the 30th, 1975. My little sister, Lorna, got sick, really sick, on our way to America. And it got to the point where we thought we would have to leave her there in Guam, or we had to toss her over the boat. Lorna has 3 kids, holds a master's degree in education, very healthy. And so I guess, you know, if we made that rush decision at that time to leave Lorna back, I won't have a wonderful and awesome sister like her today. And I still can't, up until today, still can't figure out, how did my father, who doesn't speak English, right, find out about New Orleans? Arriving to New Orleans, we felt really welcome by Catholic Charities at that time. They were like the agency that spearheaded to help thousands of Vietnamese immigrants coming over. But growing up in New Orleans, I didn't felt like I had a place here. I was dealing with a lot of like identity crisis. You know, am I a Vietnamese? Am I American? You know, I have friends that don't look like me. I have friends that speak some different languages. And I have friends that comes home to a family where they touch and kiss each other, where it doesn't happen in my household. And so I think growing up I was somewhat disconnected and very rebellious and mischievous as a young person. But I'm always very grateful for the city of New Orleans that embraced my family and thousands of Vietnamese family in the 1975, where housing was provided to many of us to kind of have a place of shelter, and giving us that support system so we could get us up and going and be able to establish home in New Orleans. 5 years after Katrina, we get the biggest oil spill happen. The BP Deepwater Horizon happened that impacted our livelihood, because majority of the Vietnamese residents, fishing is their livelihood. You get hit 2 big events in such a short period. And I think many would wonder, can the Vietnamese community actually survive and get out of this, right? You know what, I really believe that we've gotten out. I guess it goes back to just working together and being supportive of each other. And I think that's one thing that I love about the village. The Village de l'Est community started in 1975, and it escalated where more families started moving to the area. And I think that we were able to attract many Vietnamese families because of the unity that was created in Village de l'Est. And then because of that unity and that working together effort, that I think it has helped us and positioned the Vietnamese families in Village de l'Est, also known as Versailles, to really work together as we dealt with a lot of devastation. I still live in the village. My parents are still in the village, and just don't want to leave until, I just want to stay with them and support them and just continue to support a village that has brought us so much and got me in places that I could just imagine.
The documentary, American in Vietnam, is just a statement for myself to the community that this is a possibility.
When we first started, we were building like greenhouses for 12 hours a day.
I feel very proud to be Asian American in this country.
It's really nice to be able to make a little bit of an impact. I was born in Vietnam, and my family moved here when I was 4. After the oil spill, we had a lot of people that were involved in the fishing industry that live here. We have shrimpers, we have people that go fishing in the Gulf for tuna, we have people that work in seafood restaurants, own seafood restaurants, or whatever the case. And so there's a lot of people that were affected. And one of the things that we knew is a lot of people loved growing food. So we decided to kind of come up with a program to help people earn income by growing food.
Ba con mình là 1940 mấy năm rồi. Mất lúc thế là đi tới giờ này thì cũng được thôi, thì cũng tại vì tự do, phải giống như Việt Nam mình á, mình làm thôi, đến khi mà mình cõng lên là sợ lắm. Rồi mới phong sâu qua họ giúp đỡ chứ. Họ tự tiến xuống đây rồi họ cho cái này cho cái kia. Nó ở Mỹ này người ta tự do rồi học hành rồi.
A lot of farmers have probably been familiar with me since I was like 5 years old. So it feels really good to be able to have something where I can help them out in some way. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of satisfaction. Like when we first started, we were building like greenhouses for 12 hours a day for some community members. And so it's really nice. It's really nice to be able to like make a little bit of a impact in this community.
Không vì thì nó tự do, nó sung sướng, mình muốn làm cái gì thì nói như ai nói có tiền có money thì đủ thứ, còn không có money thì phải chịu thua thôi. Nó thì nó giống như cháu ở bên Mỹ này thì nó cũng dễ mà nó cũng khó. Ví dụ như mình trồng mà mình biết cách, ví dụ như là nó về phân hóa học hay là những cái phân mà organic mà mình không bỏ thì đất thì trong vòng 1 năm thì nó là hư rồi, trồng không tốt được. Mình phải nhờ cần 3 cái chất đó.
We're here at Crescent City Farmers Market on a Tuesday. It looks like there's a lot of people out here. This is kind of like the premier market in New Orleans right now. This is where the farmer's produce ends up. We sell at the market. We're about to meet my friend Maddie, who runs the sales at the market. She does a great job with customers. We have a lot of people that are regulars. They know her by name. She knows them by name. They have regular orders. So we're gonna go over here real quick. Do you need any help with anything? You're pretty much set up?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm Maddie Edwards, and I do market sales for Veggie Farmers Cooperative. My role is to go to the farm, interact with the farmers, and get all this beautiful produce that you see right here. So we have eggplants, cucumbers, the kale, the peppers, all the fresh foods you see here were grown by our farmers. And we work with other value-added producers like Yem. She does the seed bars and the chili oil, and also the pickled mustard greens. So I'm here at market on Tuesday morning and Thursday afternoon to sell for veggie.
Most wonderful duck eggs. This is beautiful.
Great produce and fresh from Louisiana and the duck eggs. I want to try duck eggs for the first time.
Well, as long as this vendor's been here, I've been coming to this vendor, and the #1 reason is because to be able to get local tofu is miraculous in and of itself, but then to have the local tofu be the best tofu on the planet really adds to that, and then you could really be sure that all of their vegetables, everything's going to be super fresh and organic, and the people that work here are just wonderful people. I would support these people even if I had to travel 100 miles.
I feel like a lot of my role here at the table is to connect the consumers to our farmers, let them know who's growing their food, where it's coming from, the practices that our farm utilizes, which is naturally grown, no harmful chemicals, pesticides, those types of things. Our farmers do everything by hand, are very meticulous, so that's kind of my role, is to educate the consumers on how we do things at Veggie.
Do you guys have mint?
We do. We got Vietnamese mint and spearmint.
You have a lot of it?
Yes, we have a lot of it.
Vietnamese mint, like you said, is a little bit lighter. And then the spearmint is much more stronger. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to be making like a kind of tea. So I want the actual stronger mint, because when I cook it, it has much more of that mint flavor afterwards. I want that little bit of like that mint flavor leaving your palate. Because we do a tea that my first course of our pop-up. So this mint kind of suits me well, better than that Vietnamese mint. It all depends where you get it from, but it all depends on how the farmer is actually, the love that they put into the soil. Thank you guys so much.
Perfect. Great seeing you as always.
One of our first projects that I worked on was this urban farming project. It was directly as a result or solution that we came up with to help folks that were affected by the BP oil spill. And here we are, we're about 12 years past that, and we still have a few farmers growing out here, and we're still working with restaurants, we're still going to farmers markets, and hopefully we can continue doing that going forward.
Yes, I am the youngest. She is the second youngest, middle child, and she is the oldest.
From missing one. Yeah. One child. Five siblings. We are half white and half Asian. So like growing up in school, it's never like with my white friends, I'm Asian. If I'm with my Asian friends, I'm white.
All my friends are like Hispanic and stuff, and they also have parents that come from different countries. I just kind of like relate to them. I don't know, I just get along with them very well.
We never really got judged for being who we are, I guess. I mean, I've never experienced that. I think that everyone in our family is pretty tough and that they can stand their own ground. So I think that for the most part, we haven't really had to like bring siblings in to be like, hey, can you take care of this for me? Because everyone's really, like I said, tough.
When my grandma and grandpa first came here, they came with nothing, and now they have this big house, and like all my aunts and uncles have like really nice houses and stuff, and we're all settled. I've always heard that my dad had to work at the shrimp dock in order to pay for his sister's tuition, and that's why all of my aunts have like really high-paying jobs and stuff, and like all the uncles have like labor working jobs.
Going down to the docks to visit as a kid, we got to fish on the dock, of course, but we also got to go onto the boat and go on for like weeks out of, just fishing and shrimping with our dad. So
I remember one
awesome.
time she was on the shrimp boat and she fell in the hole into the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
Very
traumatic.
Growing up and like going to the shrimp dock, it really humbled me to see like where my dad worked and where his hard work came from. And I've actually like helped there at the shrimp dock, and like it's pretty hard work.
My grandma made the shrimp dock her home. Like when she came here, that was a business that she built to give her kids the lifestyle that they have. So she doesn't want to let that go, and you can't blame her for not wanting to let that go. She's gonna continue to work hard at that for the rest of her life, I feel like.
My grandma's the one that made it happen. She's the one that brings all of our family together like this at a good time. So, very hard worker.
Whenever I tried to ask my dad to teach me Vietnamese, he would always tell me no.
So he worked offshore, so we was always closer to my mom. So we always we learned English, while as my dad, when he came home, he didn't really speak the language to us. So we didn't have the opportunity to actually get to know the language. We just know greetings, greeting our elders, like respect.
I'm really proud to be an Asian American because just having this lifestyle is a privilege. Knowing that they came from Vietnam and came down here and had nothing, it's just like, and then having my aunts and uncles as role models, it really helped me just grow up and made me grow up and like being a kid, like I want to grow up and beat them.
Especially to watch our aunts go to college and get all of those letters behind their names that we're joking about today, you know.
Those
It's awesome, you
PhDs.
know, and it gives us a role model to look up to, just like you said.
I feel very proud to be Asian American in this country because of all the culture that we have here. I wouldn't trade anybody else's shoes.
I'm really grateful to be an Asian American because I know, like, if I've seen a lot of videos from like in Vietnam and how like they live a really simple and also hard lifestyle, like going out every day to catch food for their family and like sharing it, and how it's a third world country. And I'm just very grateful to be here in America and have the lifestyle that I have.
My name is Bao Ngo, and I am a Vietnamese American. I came over here to the United States when I was 9 in 2005 to have an education and to have an opportunity at this thing called American Dream. Man, it was rough, not gonna lie. I didn't know any English. I couldn't understand anything at all. I was lucky that they had ESL classes, English Second Language classes, and one of the teachers there was Vietnamese, and she kind of guided me through the classes and all that, but I could not read, I could not write, I could not pretty much do anything or communicate with my teachers, and especially my friends.
Every year, on the marshy east side of New Orleans, at the sprawling campus of a Roman Catholic church called Mary Queen of Vietnam, there rise the tents and booths and stagings of a festival to celebrate Tet, the Vietnamese New Year.
Mary Queen of Vietnam started as a student project. There was this state festival every year that happened at Lunar New Year's, and we really like, it would be interesting just to film it and to show the world, United States, who we are and what we do and how we celebrate. So the State Festival is huge, it's big. It's a big celebration that everyone comes together, not just the community, everyone around the city comes together. But another thing is that people from out of state as well too, they come in to experience Vietnamese culture, Vietnamese food, Vietnamese performances. Once I got into this project, I started asking myself, well, what does it mean to be Vietnamese, and why is it that I'm doing this to show the rest of the country or village or community? So for the oldest generation, they had this, this look and this view on how we, the young generation, should grow up as, which is do your best in education, like learning as much as you can to become doctors, engineers, to go for the best of the best, because what they did was sacrifice for the younger generation to make it to the top, to become the best sort of thing. But for me, I felt that I couldn't do that, and I just wanted to do something else, and I chose a direction in film. I want to make something that I know I'm proud of, sort of thing, and man, I don't get to say that often, like a lot. I want to make something I'm proud of. The documentary, Mary Queen of Vietnam, is just a statement for myself to the community that, this is a possibility, and hopefully that the new generation can take a piece of that and, you know, become who they want to be and become who they are. But at the same time, be thankful for the older generation, because you always gotta look back and sort of like see who you are and who you become and thank the older generation. I can definitely say that I am a Vietnamese American. I'm trying to make myself better and my community better by not losing my past, who I am. We're just Americans. We're just people. We're just humans. And we're just as anyone else.